Hey, we're here at Guitar Village, and we're very fortunate. We have Dave Dole from Martin Guitars America to talk about the torification system, authentics, and some of the exciting new stuff happening with Martin Guitars this year. Hey, Dave.
Hey. So, what you have here is our 1939 OM28 Authentic. Really exciting thing with this torified top. It's basically, if I'm going to oversimplify it, it's a baking process. You know, people say that the first time that a guitar is made when it's first built may be the worst that it ever sounds, right? Because the more you play a guitar, a violin, any wooden instrument, it warms up, it opens up, all that organic material kind of breaks down and lets it vibrate more. The torrefaction process basically bakes it out and takes care of all of that organic material.
So you sort of cook you don't cook the whole guitar though, do you?
No, we don't put it in an oven, wait for a little bit, bring it out, put it on the windowsill. The process has actually been around for a long time, and there's a lot of other types of companies in the industry that use torrefaction. Decking companies use it to to kind of temper the wood to make it repel water. But for a guitar purpose, you have to be really careful with baking. I always kind of compare it to when you're making caramel. You have the sugar and the butter in there, and you're kind of stirring, and then it starts to get nice and yellow, and you're kind of almost getting there, and then it's that perfect sweet caramel, and then 2 seconds later it's burned, right? It's the exact same thing with the process of this. You can overcook them and get them too dark and brittle. So
it was sort of a trial and error to get the right time to age or cook the wood.
I mean the company that does the torrefaction process, we took them some wood and said, here, we want this torrified, and the color that we got was basically like this, because that was their normal process, and we said, okay, that's nice and all on the inside when you look at it under a microscope. But
for the top of a guitar,
the color, you can see the color difference. We can't put this on a D-28 or something standard, because people would wonder why we're putting a different species of wood. What's wrong with the quality of wood that you can get? So we had to kind of convince them to even change their process a little bit to work with us, so that we could find that spot where the organic material kind of broke away and got where we wanted it to be, and didn't get dark. And that's, you see that process here, you see that product here.
I always think of it like sort of fast forwarding the natural aging process of a guitar.
Right.
Anyway, like you said, it's the worst it ever sounds when you first buy it.
Right. And there's definitely things you can do. Obviously play it. I'm sure you guys have heard of people laying guitars up against a speaker of an organ, or those things that kind of go on top that create the vibration. Yeah, those things do work, because that vibration is going to help that material break down and kind of open up the guitar anyway. And on these guitars, again, now this is a 1939 Authentic. So what we would do is we went into the museum, we pulled out 1939 OM28 that we have, and sent it out for x-rays and looked at the size of the bracing, where everything is, looked at, in microscopes, and how light kind of went through everything, and looked at the organic makeup of it, and created this guitar based on what we have in our museum.
But it's not just the actual dimensions of the guitar, is it? The actual finish on this guitar is different. Yeah,
if you notice on camera, it doesn't really have that really shiny, full gloss look to it that people are familiar with.
Yeah, it's almost a semi-gloss.
Yeah, and that's by design. Again, with the museum and the archives that we have, we're able to go in, and thankfully all of the great people that worked in that company before us left records of everything, so, the build sheets and everything, so we could go in and we have the recipe of what the finish was.
We have a time machine.
Yeah, we have the time. I mean, we are the time machine.
Yeah.
So we can go in and we pulled out the records and we said, okay, we're going to make this guitar. We're going to make it with that exact finish. The process of putting it on, all of that, and you end up with this sort of color. The pick guard is under the finish, which is probably difficult to even notice.
It's difficult. I didn't even realize that.
But you don't even see the lip of finish over. It's a very thin finish that allows the guitar to resonate. But
it's just absolutely brilliant.
ring for days.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have enough time to just sit here and wait for the sustain to die. So, and the other thing, yes, we do torify the top and the bracing, but we don't do anything with the back and sides. Now, this is also Madagascar rosewood back and sides. Obviously, the original would have had Brazilian rosewood back and sides on the endangered species list. We try to really only use that sparingly. But this wood is fantastic. We don't do anything as far as torification to the back and sides, so over time,
it's still going to mature like a regular Martin wood.
So where we fast forwarded that process, 80 years, it's still not fully broke in. So another 10 years with this, you're going to have something that rattles the floor loose.
Yeah. Okay. Beautiful.
So I guess the other question then is, how close to it of, a vintage guitar, like did we really replicate it that well? Thankfully here, Guitar Village.
Because of a Guitar Village.
Yeah, I walked in, and then the glass behind me, we just happened to find a 1940. Now this is a D-28, so a bigger body, but essentially the same build. And you'll even notice on the back. Now this is obviously Brazilian rosewood. If you look on the finish, you can see that same sheen that has that. So, but again, this has 80 years of play and songs and music and vibration in it.
So this is what they're supposed to sound like.
Yeah. So all the resonance, this is obviously a bigger body, so you're going to get a little bit more of that deep bass, but it's all the resonance, it's all the sustain, it's all the characteristics. If you close your eyes, you're gonna feel like those guitars are from the same era. And that's really what we were after. So.
The finish is really close.
Yeah.
I mean, you might be able to see it from the camera, but the actual satin with the semi-gloss finish is so similar on the back and the sides.
Yeah, and this will, this natural aging that you have here on the color of the top as well. When this was built, it was more of that color.
Okay.
So the natural aging of the wood, natural aging of the finish and everything, you'll get that yellowing kind of happen naturally.
Yeah.
We're very, very proud of these guitars.